Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon, and welcome to Knowledge Talks, a weekly edutainment and knowledge sharing program aired live specifically to share with you topics that contribute knowledge to the society. Every week, Knowledge Talks hosts and invites guests that are experts, professionals, and leaders from the field that bring wealth of knowledge to you. Knowledge Talks also highlights and promotes talents in the country that contribute knowledge and success to the nation. This program, ladies and gentlemen, is a weekly session that I will have with you every Tuesday. I'm your host, Tariq Hilal Al-Barwani, along with our studio engineer, DJ Safiya, for an hour, bringing you free knowledge at your doorsteps on Oman Radio FM 90.4. Okay, stay tuned after the music break for today's very, very interesting knowledge topic. Welcome back to Knowledge Talks, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Tariq Hilal Al-Barwani, along with our studio engineer, DJ Safiya, with you here live today on Oman Radio FM 90.4. Hacking, cracking, security penetration, and the world of information security is an exciting world filled with challenges, excitements, danger, whether it's personal or professional. Now, a lot of people lose a lot of data. Organizations lose millions in money, be it Riyal Omani or dollars. And yes, you too can be a victim. But hey, hacking is not a bad thing, provided you are on the right side of the law and in fact work towards protecting your system and the organizations from crackers. Now, there are a number of ways that one can protect himself or herself or themselves from being hacked. There are also options available for one to enter into this world and become a hacker or information security professional. What are the opportunities? What is available in town? How could one become a hacker? And what's next is the area of our discussion today, ladies and gentlemen. An area is one thing, but having the professional, someone who knows the ins and outs of this, is my guest this week, and he is Mr. Irfan Gazi. Mr. Irfan worked as the country manager for Symantec, one of the best organizations that offer antiviruses and many other related security products and solutions. He is currently the country manager of Citrix, an organization that offers virtualization mobility. Irfan is a great guy and is a recipient of the Quality of Excellence from the Leaders Council Consortium in the United States of America and is a professional communicator. He is entrepreneur by design, where he started his career with his own business intelligence product back in 1998. Irfan likes to be part of a new ideas and project development, and today he is us with here at Knowledge Talks to share his knowledge on information security. Mr. Irfan, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you doing today?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm doing good. I'm good. Doing very good. Thanks for having me here.
No, it's a pleasure. I'll tell you one thing, Irfan. You and I, we meet a lot. We have coffees. You and I meet a number of times and speak about projects. And what I like is you have rich knowledge. What I like is the way you share technology in very, very simple English for people to learn. I am a technologist, but anyway, sitting with you, I learn a lot, mashallah. And today, I don't want us to be only meeting and having coffee shops and speaking about knowledge. I want that knowledge to be shared across Oman, and that's why I'm inviting you today here. So how are you?
I'm good. I'm indebted to Oman. I've stayed here for a couple of years, and I see Omanis are great hosts.
Alhamdulillah.
And it's been always my dream to share whatever I have with Omanis, especially students who are coming out of colleges, out of schools. They don't know what to do and where to go. We always used to discuss this, how to go to these colleges, to help them achieve their roadmap, their dreams.
Yeah.
This is what I like to do, and this is the intent of this should be the intent of this session with you today.
MashaAllah. Irfan, this is a very noble cause. This is a very great attribute. Going out and sharing your knowledge. It's nothing like it. I believe that's sadaqah as well, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah, people share money, people share everybody. Some of them just smile, and what you're doing is you're sharing your knowledge, and that's great. And you get many, many more people doing it. Nothing like it, mashallah.
It's very easy. I see a lot of communications happening on different social media, be it Facebook, Twitter, and Times of Oman is very active. So they talk about Majlis al-Shura has, for example, given a green signal to Ministry of Manpower that should Omanis be given the managerial positions, and there was a discussion around it. The interaction I have with the Omanis, like yourself and many others, I see you are exceptionally good. You guys, you are exceptionally very, very good. You can absorb any position, and you can do it very well, and especially women in Oman. They are very good. But what I'm working at is what I want to do is to work with any organization to help the newcomers who come in the market, the students. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. They know security. It's a fantastic tool to be famous. So that's what they know. But there are different fields they can go in. And by the way, I'm an emotional intelligence student. And security has a lot of things to do with emotional intelligence, because emotional intelligence is 90% of your intelligence. And if you're passionate towards something, you need to use your emotional intelligence, not your physical intelligence. So if you're passionate about security, you need to use that part of intelligence, not the physical intelligence. So I have seen that in Omanis like yourself. You guys rock.
Alhamdulillah. That's very nice to hear, because we have great friends, great visitors, and great colleagues and friends like yourself, mashallah, Irfan.
Thank you very much.
Irfan, you worked for Semantic, and you also are working right now for Citrix. I know about you, but it would be nice if you could share a bit about your profile, achievement, and things that you've worked on, so our audience are also as close to you as I am.
Okay. I started my career in 1998. I graduated in 1998. I'm an economics graduate. I love economics very much. I love mathematics. I wanted to do something, for myself. I didn't want to work for anybody. So I decided to start my own concern. And I hired a couple of developers. I got some money from my mother. There was a very, the budget was like we call it shoestring. I hired 3 developers, and I designed the system, and we developed a product back in 1998, basically on data analytics, the business analytics. And the best part was I wanted to sell it as a service. So I consider myself as the pioneer of cloud. So the cloud came later, before, I think 2 years before I was working on the cloud, selling things as a service. So that was back in London when I started my own small data center. I had small, servers and all that stuff.
Wow.
And Pizza Hut was my first and the last customer.
Okay.
They were happy with the product, and they could get all the reports they want, and it was very tweakable. And finally, they acquired the product, and they said, "Okay, fine, you did enough."
So they bought off your product.
Yeah, so I was happy, and I was I could not make it bigger because of my, I was not so mature to make a small product into a wider business.
How old were you?
I was, I think, 21.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, great.
So I was happy. I did well.
You sold it with a lot of money?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm an economics graduate, remember?
Mashallah.
So I ran some economics, so I got good money. Then I joined a company called Wipro in Europe.
Okay.
Wipro is an Indian headquartered company. It's a big conglomerate, a big organization in product engineering, semiconductors, and outsourcing. Mm-hmm. I worked with them for around 2 years in Europe. Then I moved to US with them. Was working with them till 2010 when I came to Oman.
Okay, mashallah.
To Oman, yes, to Dubai and Oman.
Okay.
I was working with an Indian company again called SR Group. It's a big conglomerate. They have steel, coal, oil and gas. They have an IT company as well. So I was working in an IT company with them. So my main forte, when I left my own company, joined Wipro and joined SR, my main forte was building transformations. That's what I like even now. I don't like to. I'm a country manager. I'm responsible for revenues. I'm responsible for profit and loss. But I don't sell products. I have never done it. I have always built transformations. Okay. If you're doing it this way, let's do it that way, the other way. And I make my profit out of that, but it gives a lot of value to the end user.
So
that's the transformation. I always would propose to the customers. Okay. The transformations would consist of refreshes, outsourcing, maintenance. I have taken a big deal that was around $80 million in US, and many more, of the same values. So in SR as well, we worked hard on transformations of security.
Okay.
That's when it struck me to get into the security and virtualization. Then in Symantec, because of my passion towards security, I joined Symantec. I was deputed to work here in Oman, and it was a terrible situation for the company because of competition, and there was nobody present here in Oman, and the customers were not happy, the partners were not happy. It was a roller coaster ride for me. But Alhamdulillah, within 1.5 years, we did pretty well because of the great products Symantec has, including
very good.
Data leakage prevention, pretty good privacy for encryption, and antiviruses and all that. So that was something I always liked about Symantec.
Which is security.
Yes.
Which is good. And that's what our topic is in today. In fact, and I know you've worked a lot. We've spoken a number of times, and that's when I thought of inviting you to speak about it. What is information security?
If we take away information, to start with, what is security? It's safeguarding your assets, safeguarding yourself, your house, anything. Then comes information. So a lot of data has been collected over the years in all the organizations or even at your home. And if that data makes sense or helps you sometimes to make good decisions, or helps you to remember past, so that becomes information.
Okay.
So when you want to secure that information, safeguard that information, that's the field called information security.
And how can one implement it in an organization?
Okay, this is a very lengthy. There can be a very long answer to this. Implementation. Okay, information security has it's three parts. It's confidentiality, it is integrity, it is availability. These three things should be part of any security implementation. So confidentiality is if nobody should be able to see what I'm sending or what I'm having. Integrity is if I'm sending something to you, it should reach you the way I have sent you. If I've sent you 2, it should reach 2 to you. Availability is if I'm making everything secure and I'm not making it available, that defeats the purpose of information. So that's one way of looking at information security. I allow something about. I want to mention this. This I have seen in Oman. A few organizations I have seen, they have segregated the information security department, the IT department, and the risk department is separate. It's a very important thing. If you remember, there was a fiasco that happened with Enron a long time back. Mm-hmm. It was a financial fraud that happened. Mm-hmm. So in simple language, we call it, if you're authorized to sign a check, you should not be authorized to keep it. Mm-hmm. Keep the checkbook. Mm-hmm. That can become a fraud, right? Okay. If you're keeping a checkbook and if you are authorized to sign it, so it definitely can become a fraud. So you're authorized to sign. You can sign the check, take it, and it should be with 2 persons. In simple English. So the best thing I've seen in organizations in Oman, the risk department has been kept separate so that they can overlook on IT and security. Okay. So that's one way. Another way of looking at security processes. Then information security that has a lot of products, starting from antivirus that stays at the endpoint, then the encryption on the hard disk. We call it cryptography. So you encrypt the whole data on the hard disk. Then the communication between your computer and your receiver. How do you encrypt things? And on top of it, the security has become more of a concern. We use 2-factor authentication now. If I send an encrypted thing to you, still you cannot open it even if you have all these keys with you. Another authentication should come to you on your mobile phones or anything. So it's a huge topic. It requires a lot of thinking, and an organization can take up to 5 to 6 months to design an information security policy for the whole organization.
Okay. What are the different things that have recently taken the world and technology by storm and surprise, which makes the information security an important part of any organization?
So like I mentioned, Enron, the financial frauds, it was a surprise for everybody.
Okay.
And then there came a law called Sarbanes-Oxley. There were 2 professors, 2 scientists, Sarbanes and Oxley. They created a law called Sarbanes-Oxley, in which they said, okay, there has to be, if you are implementing the information security framework in an organization, the segregation of duty should be, one of the important aspects of it. There's another aspect called governance, risk, and compliance. We call it GRC. How do you govern? How do you, see the likelihood of vulnerabilities being exploited? And then the compliance to the regulatories, like you have ISO certifications or BSS or, all that stuff. Okay.
Now, information security is an important element or a department or even professional that should be in an organization. You agree with that?
Yes.
What would it take for someone to become an information security professional?
I think first thing that I would stress on is the passion towards anything. A guy should not look at security as, Tariq Barwani is a security expert. I will also want to be a security expert. It should not be like that. It should be, I love security. I should do that. You should always do whatever you love to do.
Okay.
If you are a good painter, excel in that. It's better to be a good painter than be a bad bank manager.
Okay.
So the passion is very important, and the know-how. What is security? What am I doing? Am I going to be a black hat or a white hat? Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, it's a very it's very funny. I was in Arizona for a while, and there were my friends who would crack 1024-bit encryption in 5 minutes.
Wow.
And they would do it for $10, only to have hash.
Oh, that's interesting.
So those are white, black hats.
Okay.
They can do anything for anything, just $10, and they have fun in that.
Okay.
So I wouldn't recommend to do that, because there are cybersecurity laws in every country now. They can go behind bars if they start doing it. So wearing a white hat is always a good idea, helping organizations build the framework, helping them check the vulnerabilities, helping them with the application team, with the network team, build the framework and what should be allowed, what should not be allowed, and checking every time what's good, what's bad.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break and return back and talk about this interesting hacking, cracking stuff that we have on air today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Interesting discussion, interesting topic with the great Mr. Irfan, a great friend of mine, and also the country manager for Citrix here in Oman, who has also been the country manager for Symantec for Oman as well. We spoke about information security and the importance that it has for organization, and not having it, the kind of impact that it would lead to an organization, from losing the information, from leakage, from a number of things, even their respect and credibility. And we've also slightly touched upon what would it require for someone to get and jump into the bandwagon of information security, i.e. you said the passion, and to know a little bit of know-how about the
technology.
The technology.
Yeah.
Now, let's say if someone doesn't know anything but just is interested. He or she says, I just want to become a hacker. I like to hear the word. I want to be able to crack into the systems. I want to be able to protect the systems. What's your advice on that?
So, from my emotional intelligence experience, I would say they should look into themselves and see what they are good at.
Okay.
Yeah, and if they think that they no matter what happens, they can safeguard things, and they do things on fly.
Okay.
And they are they're smart. Everybody would think they're smart, but actually they should be smart.
Yeah.
And they have inclination towards studying a lot.
Okay. Oh, good. So they need to study a lot, huh?
They need to, yeah. They need to. It's not only that they love something. They need to study a lot, and there are different streams to go into information security. They can go into as an auditor, for example, security auditor. The exams are CISA, Certified Information Security Auditors. Then there's a roadmap for this, and they can go for CISSP, Certified Information Security Systems Professional. These are industry certifications, and all these they basically have the modules they cover is how do you save an organization from within and from without. People, hackers coming from outside, and well-meaning insiders. They don't want to leak, but they leak somehow. They're well-meaning.
Yeah.
During Symantec days, I had an access to some statistics report wherein it was mentioned for Gulf region only, the data leakage or the information leakage that has happened, 70% has happened due to well-meaning insiders.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, they didn't know that they are leaking the data, but they were actually leaking the data. 30% only was from the black hats, who wanted to, exploit the vulnerabilities or leak the data.
Yeah. Can you give me some example of such scenarios? Internal breach of security.
Okay, so if you're working, you're a well-meaning insider. You are working very hard for the organization you work for, and you're working till, let's say, you're working on a project.
Okay.
And you're working very late in office, let's say 7-8 o'clock in the night, and you're hungry and you want to go home. At the same time, you want to finish that work. So what you do is you copy that project, incomplete project, into a USB stick.
Okay.
Or you send it to your Gmail if you don't have access to the corporate email. And from home, it's a very genuine thing. He's doing it, or she is doing it for the organization. But when she does this, she goes home, she works on it. This is very genuine. But at the same time, you can see this corporate data going out. So these are well-meaning insiders. This is how the breaches happen. And for this, there are softwares we used to work with called data leakage prevention. So they would specify directories on which I'm authorized to work on, and then there are things we would filter. This is confidential, this is semi-confidential, this is not confidential. So if I'm sending confidential data to somewhere, I have an encryption server installed, it will automatically encrypt without me knowing it. And first of all, it wouldn't let me send that document if I'm not authorized to get to that directory. There are ways to stop this well-meaning insiders, and there are for outsiders there are firewalls. You can harden the servers. You can harden the network for the outsiders. But the information security, 70% of it is inside.
And would you agree that awareness is a very important one?
It's part of every framework. If in any organization they want to go with, they want to achieve the ISO certification or any certification, the awareness is
plays an important role.
Part. Yes.
I know about Kevin Mitnick. You know Kevin Mitnick. Kevin Mitnick is the most notorious hacker in US who hacked the biggest telecommunication companies and all that. What he did was there's a very nice movie, in fact, of him, which was released about over 8 to 9 years ago. Kevin Mitnick is known. He's right now a security professional, which he provides a lot of training as well. He's an American who penetrated into many leading organizations in America, and the way he did it was simply with social engineering. So he utilizes his skills to get the well-wishers in an organization to provide information. That's what you rightly put it. So that's what it happens. And where if awareness is not there, then people might end up indirectly sharing information that might end up causing the whole organization going for a big toss.
Yeah, it is. It's very important. I'll tell you an example of the ATM hacks in Europe.
Okay.
All the ATMs, they're basically small computers, CPUs inside an ATM, running Windows XP.
Okay. Till today, they're on Windows XP?
Many.
And Windows XP is no longer supported by Microsoft?
Because the banks, it will amount a lot of expenditure on them to migrate them. Many of them haven't migrated, but a lot of them are with Windows XP.
They just want to take money from us, the banks, but they don't want to upgrade their system that will protect our monies. That's so bad.
So, this is how it is. And still many banks are thinking whether we should migrate or not.
Okay.
And Windows XP is very easy. There are a lot of vulnerabilities there, and I'm not a specialist, but during Semantic Days we used to sell a product that was a combination of intrusion detection plus intrusion prevention. We used to sell it as one product that would harden the server.
Okay.
And that server doesn't need updates or so. It was an opportunity for us. All these Windows XP machines, you just install this server, you don't need to migrate. Nobody would hack it.
Okay.
So in Europe, what was happening, they would make a small hole on the side of the ATM machine where the CPU lies, where their beautiful 2 USB ports are.
Okay.
And you would have a malware on a USB stick.
Okay.
The malware is $199.
Okay, it's a malicious software.
It's a malicious software, $199.
Okay.
It's available online. You put it in the USB stick, and within seconds, you have control over Windows XP, and it gives you a screen where it shows how much €100 notes I have, how many 50, how many 10, how many, all that. How many do you want to withdraw?
Ouch.
So you withdraw everything, and these thieves would take some cash, not take everything. They were very smart, so that they can come there every month, every week. So it was a very easy hack, but this has happened.
Okay.
This has happened, in Europe. Millions of euro have been, stolen from the ATMs.
So your recommendation for banks here in Oman, for the ones who have Windows XP, is to upgrade to the latest versions of Windows, let's say Windows Vista or the Windows 8, or go to Semantic?
Yeah. There are two ways to do it, three ways. So one is to migrate. It would cost them a lot because the ATMs are far away and very limited bandwidth. They cannot do it remotely. They have to send somebody. Second way is to install semantic software. So that would take away their pain forever. They don't need to update. They don't need to do anything. They stay here. It takes the ATM in a lockdown mode.
Okay.
And the third way is, since I'm working with Citrix, so we are specialized in virtual desktop infrastructure.
Okay.
And we deliver applications as well. So, we can work with the banks.
To see how you can help them.
We can deliver applications onto these machines.
Okay. By the way, recently Bill Gates was hacked. No, Bill Gates, you know that, right? It was a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
He was hacked by his credit card was hacked.
Yes.
So it means today, even if one of a public figure like Bill Gates, who is known to be the IT guru and the likes, has been hacked, it means anyone can be hacked, really, if one is not careful. Do you have any advice for people, how for people to be careful, not to be hacked or been taken for a ride in the information superhighway?
I think I bank, since I live in Dubai, I bank with Emirates NBD. They have given me a new card, ATM or the credit card, with the PIN. If I swipe my card anywhere, it asks for the PIN. It's a second level of authentication.
Oh, is the two-factor?
Yeah. So that's the good way to go about it.
Okay.
That's one way of going about it, and the other way is I have seen. I don't want to name it. I have seen one organization here. It's a grocery store
in Oman.
In Oman, yes, and there was a malware inside, and
in their systems.
And we came to know about this, and they took care of it.
Okay, so they're okay now.
But they were, the malware was taking credit cards details.
Ooh.
So machines basically, if you see a grocery store with a merchant machine separate, they swipe it, the credit card, then they swipe it on the billing machine, so that the box opens.
Okay.
If you remember this, if you have ever gone to the grocery store, I usually go.
I do too.
So if they are separate, that's okay. That should be okay.
Okay. You mentioned today about black hat, and you also mentioned about white hat, and I know there is a gray hat as well, as in hackers or professionals in this area. Could you please explain the difference between them?
Well, it's the name says. Black hat is in they do things for money. They do things for fun. They are illegal stuff. And white hats, they are ethical hackers. They tell organizations, listen, Mr. Organization, this is what is vulnerable. You should fix this. You should fix this. You should fix this.
Okay.
And there is another form of hackers. We call it hacktivism.
Mm-hmm.
They do it for they have political agendas.
Okay.
They do it for their cyber army, for example.
Okay. Hacktivists. Yeah.
So they have political agendas as well, and they get salary as army of a country gets.
And you do agree that hacker can be a profession as well?
Yeah, ethical hackers. Yes.
Ethical hackers can be a profession, but they need to take up a course that would give them the necessary knowledge and tools in order for them to be information security professionals.
They should have knowledge of basic programming. They should have basic programming skills.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So that because they have to think from the hacker's perspective.
Okay, we're going to go more deep on that because that's very interesting. A lot of people want to become hackers, want to know about it, and we're going to go immediately talk more about that immediately after our music break. Interesting discussion with Mr. Irfan, who has a lot of knowledge, and unfortunately we have only 10 minutes remaining on our with our show. Nevertheless, we're always going to invite him to come and sit and speak on the different topics as well that he has. Today we're speaking about information security. Before the music break, we spoke about the skills that one should have in order to enter into the field. So you're saying about a skill that one need to get into the hacking.
He should be able to think like a hacker.
Oh, okay.
So that's how he would stop hacker coming in.
Any technical skills?
Programming skills, basic programming skills is very important. If he knows C language, for example, and if he knows Unix, he's good to go.
He's good to go.
Yeah.
Okay. And if he doesn't know, would he probably can learn about it?
Yeah, right? I mean, I have seen young Omanis here. They talk about security. They talk about mobility as well.
Okay.
It's a big future for the country.
So information security is a big future for the country.
Yes, yeah, it is. It is because if the resources, it's a factory. If you say why India is booming for the software exports or the resource, the exports, it's because of the knowledge they have in application development, in security. They sell these skills to US, to Europe, and that's how the billions and trillions of dollars come in from the software exports.
Okay.
So this is a big industry. It's you should not look down upon these as okay, this is an IT stuff. Okay, but that's it. It's a big industry. If we take care of this now, we can send the resources to UAE, to Qatar, to Saudi. And the students would be happy to move into that career. And security is not alone. And whatever you do separate with the security, you want to mobilize your workforce. You want to embrace mobility. Security comes in that, because when you're opening the gates to your corporate by embracing the mobility, security comes in the picture. So they can embrace the security plus mobility. They can embrace security plus virtualization. They can embrace information security. They can embrace the auditor part, ethical hackers. There are many things they can embrace in information security.
Okay, very interesting thing. We've had a very interesting discussion today. Just to recap some of the points, is that information security is really safeguarding the security of the information before the organization, and you have mentioned that it's a very, very important element of an organization, that every organization should have it. And you explained about the different courses that are available that one can take in order to get into the information security. Passion is something that you have recommended, that someone should have the passion in order to jump into this bandwagon. And you said programming along with, and you specified C language and Unix is important. I'm sure networking as well.
Yes.
So you get to know how the systems work with each other and how you can work into.
There are multiple. We call it RFCs.
Okay.
There's a different number of RFC 4000, RFC 399. So I have in my college days I have read all these. I think maybe 200 to 300 RFCs. Mm-hmm. So if they want to know about, let's say, DNS, mm-hmm. anybody wants to know about DNS, mm-hmm. the
domain name system,
the make of DNS, how is it made? They should go to the RFC of DNS.
Okay.
It's a 60-70 page RFC, and they will know everything about DNS.
What is RFC stands for?
A request for comments. It's like a research paper somebody has done.
And where can people find it?
It's online available. They can say RFC DNS, they will get it.
Okay, and so you can provide them the make of DNS, how it works.
Yes, so everything. RFC for SIP, for example, the Session Initiation Protocol for IP telephony.
Oh, very good.
The SIP has like 20 RFCs, different RFCs. Mm-hmm. The SIP was invented by a guy called Rosenberg, mm-hmm. who, that guy has taken the world by storm. Everything has changed. We used to do circuit switching. Now we do packet switching because of SIP. So RFCs is something they should go Google RFC DNS, RFC DHCP, RFC anything. And they will get the research paper of 100 pages, 120 pages, 200 pages. Read that and they'll know everything about it.
Okay. Now we've gone through all that and we know that someone, or let's say someone has already got into information security and they want to be updated. What should they do?
they need to be updated. Information security guys, they are like doctors. They cannot keep themselves away from the current trend. The doctors need to know everything that's happening now so that they can save somebody from the disease that nobody's aware of, or somebody's aware of somewhere and he has to be aware of. So information security guys, they need to be aware of everything. And there are organizations like isc2.org, and there are many like Black Hat sessions. They can subscribe to those. And Symantec has a library that's free. So it's a hard work of decades of years from Symantec. Many security gurus. It's free, so people can use that as well.
Anything you wish to share our audience before at the end of our program today?
I'm very thankful for me, to you having me here, and I wish best of luck to all Omanis. All it's a great country, and I love them to be IT experts, and I love them to see outside Oman as well.
Irfan, thank you very much for joining us today on Oman Radio FM 90.4 to share with us about your great successes and your profile, and also your knowledge on information security and how Omanis can also jump into this important area. I would like to take this opportunity to wish you the very best and success in all you do, inshallah.
Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our program for this week. I hope you all had intriguing time with us. Let us catch up again next week on Tuesday. I'm your host, Tariq Hilal Al-Barwani, along with our studio engineer, DJ Ash-Shabibi, wishing you all a happy and a pleasant weekend.